Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in two different tanks, and that's because it's another community replays video. And this first replay in the Charioteer will be run by Prof Foody, and the second replay will be in the Leopard PTA with Scarecrow003. Now both these guys have YouTube channels. I'm going to link them both in the description down below. Go give them a follow. They both upload replays every now and then. Go give them a follow, you know, it's just what we do around here. So, this first game is run by Prof Foody and is in the Charioteer, and as you can tell, it was quite a while ago, because the UI's still very dodgy. Yeah, still very dodgy. There's no health bars, for some reason there's still no damage or assist counters in the top right corner. There's just lots of things that are wrong with this UI. I mean, watching replays from this long ago, right, makes you realise how quite far the UI has come since the start of 6.0 and how much they've re-added back to it, which is nice. Shame that it ever had to get to that point, but you know, at least we've got a game that's in a more playable state, right? And you can actually tell what you're doing. And yeah, he's in the Charioteer. Now he's made a bit of an error with the ammo selection that he's got in this Charioteer, and that's because he's got. Well, this is obviously before the Charioteer got buffed and got a ton of ammo extra, which was great for the quality of life of the tank. But he's got lots of standard HE. I'd imagine this is his first couple of games with the standard, with the L7, and when he's just equipped it, it's just gone with the default ammo loadout, and he's not changed it because 12 standard HE is just not enough. You need to, well, it's too much. Sorry, you need to not take the standard HE in the Charioteer. You need to take the HESH or the APCR. You don't take the standard one because, while the standard HE does have a fair amount of pen, it's also not worth it when you can just load the premium HESH and have 210 pen and guarantee that you're going to be able to pen a lot of people with it. And also, there's a high likelihood that you're going to run out of standard APCR because this tank fires decently quickly, and if you get into situations like you're going to see Prof Foody, you're going to end up having lots of situations where you just don't have enough ammo with the standard APCR, and you really need to make sure you've got enough standard APCR, but a fair bit of Prem HESH as well, because the standard HESH, like I say, is just not as effective. He's made a bit of an error here, but hey, it is what it is. He's still going to have a great game. Now, in terms of the crew that I'd personally run on the Charioteer, I'd run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Run and Gun, Steady Aim, Trap Mechanic, Camouflage, Expertise, and Muffled Shot. Now, I'd run the Camouflage Expertise and the Muffled Shot because this is a stealthy tank destroyer, and having the best camo you can possibly get is what I want to run, as well as making the gun better with the Run and Gun and the Steady Aim. Now, you could drop Track Mechanic if you wanted to, because you're thinking you're a stealthy TD, and you're not really, you know, if you're being shot at, you're probably going to die. Personally, I like to have Track Mechanic because that way I can, well, if I get tracked after I've already repaired the track, I can get the track back on quickly, because if I get tracked without Track Mechanic and I don't have my repair kit, you're pretty much dead, because a lot of tanks can just perma-track you from that point, and that's awkward. But yeah, you could drop Track Mechanic and run something like Rapid Aim, because the turret traverse is slow, or you could run Snapshot and make the gun handling better when turning the turret. It's perfectly up to you, and in terms of equipment, I'd run the Rammer, Camo Net, and Optics to be able to spot for yourself, stay hidden, and have a better reload. Now, as you can see, he's taken a good position on Fisherman's Bay here to be able to counter those guys that are coming out of the town. He's also spotting them, which is nice. He does actually have the damage counter in the top right corner. It's the assist counter that he doesn't have. You can see he's getting spotting here with the damage assist XP thing that's in the corner. It was really annoying back then when you couldn't actually tell what you were getting. It's nice to be able to tell. But he's got nice shots here. He's getting some shots into this machine that's poking out. And basically every time that these guys are poking out of the houses in the town, he's getting shots at them. And he's also spotting them. And because of the stealthy nature of the Charioteer, he's not getting spotted himself, which is great. He's just got to be patient and basically wait it out. Wait for them to be aggressive, because at this point, you be aggressive, you'll probably go forward, get spotted and die, because they will spot him and shoot him. And here's a one-shot for pretty much all of them. He spots the C-75 coming out of the town, and he blaps the 75 out of existence. Now, right now, I'd be boosting my... He's got food boost waiting, and I'd be boosting my food to make my view range just that little bit better, because obviously, you automatically pay for having the food in your tank. You don't have to pay for it any more than the once you activate it. So activate it as much as you want. I'd be activating it all the time here to try and get, like I say, my view range as good as possible so I can keep spotting these guys. But this IS-7 is now being aggressive, so finally he's going to be able to work him over. He's just driving way outside his spotting circle, so he's not going to get spotted by this guy while he just gets to farm him. And this is why the position he's taken on this little ridge line is a great position. And it is one that I will take if I have to fall back, because this position is powerful. It's just a position that you take to fall back into. But now is where he's going to struggle. He's run out of standard APCR, and he's on to his standard HE, which, you know, has like 102 pen or something like that. In fact, having checked, it's actually 105, which, like I say, isn't bad. That's pretty good for standard pen on HE. But when you're facing tier 10s like Prof Foody is here, it's going to be a pain having to pen them. Tanks like the Machine, if he catches it right in the side, he's going to pen, which is fine. The lower plate of a Super Conqueror, he might, if he gets a good pen roll, get the pen in. Tanks like that Iron Rain, it doesn't really matter for... Oh, that Iron Rain. Oh, dear, that poor Iron Rain got wrecked. He didn't quite get the gun aimed in time, and that guy just got deleted. But he was spotting him, which is great, which is more assistance to him. As you see, plus 27 on his spotting. We don't know how much spotting he's doing here, but he's going to have racked up a decent amount. Hashtag spoilers. And he's just wondering what he's going to do here. He's got the Batchat 25T spotted over there, but there is someone capping. So he's looking like he wants to try and spot the guy in the cap, and by doing so, hopefully get him absolutely blapped from his TDs at the back. And there we go. Machine gets deleted. Pings the great shot. It's exactly what he wanted. He's using his tank right now, because he doesn't have the best ability to be able to shoot back and damage because of the HE. So he's basically using it like a scout. And that's one thing the Charioteer is good at, because you've got decent view range. If you can buff it up with the food and the situational awareness, the born leader, etc., etc., you are going to be able to use the excellent camo on the tank, and you'll be able to spot out a lot as well. There's been a lot of times where you end up being a spotter for your team if you were taking aggressive bush. I mean, I remember back in the day when you could run binocs, right? You'd end up taking that scout bush on Prokhorovka, set up the camo net and the binos, and then you were the scout. Nothing could spot you because you had amazing camo, and then you were getting all the assistance. As you see, he's getting some tons of assistance here. The guys at the back of his team are doing a right good job of assisting him, because he spotted the guy in the cap and he got absolutely blacked by the Jagdpanzer. So he's on 4.5k damage. He's not actually really had to fire his gun in the last 2 minutes. The only shot he had was on that T30, which, again, if he had APCR or even Prem Hesh, he would have penned, but because he's got this standard Hesh, he couldn't do it. But he's got 2 squishy targets to shoot with the HE, which is the Batchat and the artillery. He doesn't really need the pen to be able to go through those 2 guys. 105 is going to be enough. And he's not going to get anywhere near the Batchat 25T. So it's just thinking, is that artillery in that corner? Well, they'd have probably spotted it by now if the medium and the heavy tank. So there's only really one natural place is going to be, and that's over here at K8, which the GW Tiger's been spotted. He's just going to charge after him. I mean, the Charioteer is a fantastic tank. I've been playing it again recently since it's got its ammo buff and just having a little run around in it. And it is a great tank. And you can have such great games in it because the camo is filthily good. And obviously the gun has always been great, and it's just even better nowadays. So he finishes with the victory. He comes top on his team. 3 kills. The 4.6k damage, 5.8k spotting. There you go. You didn't get to see how much spotting he was doing, but he did nearly 6k spotting. That's 10k combined is done right there. A very, very good game for a tier 8 tank destroyer in a tier 10 game. He's got the Ace Tanker, the Patrol Duty, the Confederate, 2.4k base XP. Absolutely fantastic game from Prof Foody in the Charioteer. Like I say, he's got a YouTube channel. Go follow it in the link down below. He does post video replays quite often on that channel. Just go follow it up, see what happens. So now we're into the second game, and the second game, this is run by Scarecrow003 in the Leopard PTA. Now Scarecrow, he has a channel, like I say, go follow it down the link below, and he runs things a little bit differently. Now Scarecrow actually doesn't run the targeting equipment, so if you ever wondered what it's like to run without the targeting equipment, or you know, basically running without the outlines, You're going to see it in this game. Now, Scarecrow's used to it, and Scarecrow definitely makes really sort of light work of it. I couldn't ever play like this. It would kill me. Because when you're on ridge lines and you're firing through multiple concealment, especially at distance, if you're firing at lightly armoured targets, it doesn't really matter. But if you're firing at stuff like E100s at great distance, you haven't got a clue whether you're shooting at the turret front, at the rear, or at the side, or at the lower plate, or at the upper plate. You haven't got a clue, and that's where it starts to let you down. But when you're shooting at more lightly armoured targets, it doesn't matter. As long as you are seeing them, you're going to be able to pen them. And, yeah, he's on the Heilbronn. And he took the middle position on Heilbronn, but there's a medium tank in a very aggressive position at E6, the AMX-30. So he's just immediately got out, which is exactly what he needed to do. There was no point sticking there because he was just going to die. His team's taken up again a very weird place that none of them have kept. Well, it's because it's this variant, this team destruction variant, and where they've spawned. But there's not really anyone camping up on the ridge at C90, which is highly unusual for this map. Usually you get like 6-7 people go sit up there because why not? He's had quite a few go to the town. He's got these 2 heavy tanks set at D4. And they pushed aggressively, and he didn't really have the cover, so he immediately got out of that position and is now trying to think of a place to go to be able to get better shots at these guys that are in the middle. Now, he's got this 704 here. He's just looking at it. I don't know why he didn't quite take the shot at that guy. He did have... You could just see he had the shot, but there he does finally get the shot into him. And again, he's just looking for more shots at this AMX-30. Now there's a Falcon T92. He doesn't get the shot into him, but he does go for the shot on to the Object 704. Now, he's not shooting the Falcon T92 there, purely because I don't think he wanted to get spotted, and he waited until that Falcon was just far enough away so that with cover that he probably wasn't going to get spotted again. Now, obviously, if you don't run the targeting equipment, and you can bear playing without the outlines of the tanks, you can min-max things even more effectively, because you could run, like, the rammer optics and vents and then decide to run ammo swapper to be able to change between whichever round you want, or you could run the traction system to get quicker, or powertrain if you needed the engine power over the top speed, or you know, you could run the camo net to make you even more stealthy on this tank, or you could run the vert stabs just to overkill your gun and the accuracy. I mean, personally, if I was running it like Scarecrow is right now, I would probably run rammer, vents, optics and camo net, because that's one of the benefits of the Leopard PTA, is it's a damn stealthy medium tank, and because it has no armour, the longer you stay unspotted in this 6.0 world of hyper accuracy, the better. And you could run it like that. But personally, for me, I run RAM events, optics, and the targeting computer, because like situations like that, I cannot stand. He's just looking through the bushes there. He didn't quite know what he was shooting at, whether it was the upper plate or the turret front, because the turret front is never going to go through. And with the APSR round, he's going to go through that guy's upper plate every time. But he didn't know. And he just sort of... It's one of those things, you kind of just have to take the shots as they go. And he ended up ricocheting. But now he's got this guy's side. He's auto-aimed the shot through the side, through the bush, into that guy. He's up to a decent amount of damage now. I think it's 2.5k spotting. He still has that bug. This is back from when that bug was still going, where the XP and that blocks your damage counters. Now he gets a nice shot into the projectile 654. Now obviously he's shooting at this guy's side. He knows he's shooting at this guy's side. He's not facing him, so it's an easy pen. But like I say, it's just that targeting computer that it throws me off. I'm not sure I could play like that myself. But it's different. It's something different for the channel, because I couldn't play like this myself, so I've never featured a replay without the targeting computer. But you get to see it yourself now and see what it's like. And like I say, you can make your tank even better by doing this, but you know, there's a fair few situations where it just wouldn't help a lot at all. I'll take Fisherman's Bay. That last game on Fisherman's Bay that Prof Foody had, the sort of situations he is with there's lots of like ridge lines that sort of change positions everywhere and anywhere. And people can get hulled down in different locations, and people might overexpose in other locations. You just haven't got a clue because you can't see where they are through the outlines. And it would make it really goddamn awkward to play. When you're in situations like this where there's tanks in the open, you don't need the outline to shoot that T25/2. You know exactly where you're going to hit it. It's perfectly fine, and you know you can work it really well. Now he's got a shot into that T25/2. He's going to take it round, and he's going to get a shot into... Well, he's going to try and finish off this T25/2 now. And he's looking in case he finds the artillery as well, which he does, which is perfect. It's like, hello, Mr. Artillery. Gets one in. He's going to boost his reload with food. Wait for the shot to go, well, wait for the reload in, and then shut him down. Just like that. Now he's detected. It's like, that's probably the T-25/2 somewhere, trying to look to get a shot at him. Looking what's left, there's the T-30, which is probably the thing that, yeah, just got shot down in the town. There's 2 Waffle Panzer IVs and another TD, which is the T-25/2. He knows where that guy was. He's somewhere over here. He's probably moved a little bit now. The other TD gets spotted over there. There's 2 TDs, in fact, they got spotted over there. And since there's 2 Waffles in a platoon and a Waffle shut down the Yahtzee over there, you got to assume that they're both the Waffles. He shuts down the T-25/2. Now he's in a great position to get shots at this other Waffle Panzer IV. Now, like I say, at this distance, he can't tell whether he's shooting at the side, rear, or front of the Waffle Panzer IV, but it's a Waffle Panzer IV, so it doesn't matter. He gets a nice shot into the Waffle Panzer IV, and is at such a distance that this guy's never going to spot him, and he's got him at his mercy. He tries to hesh him with one, and again, this is where I wouldn't have loaded hesh. He doesn't pen him either time, and that's because at the distance he can't tell whether he's shooting at the front, back, side, or the turret. He doesn't know where the gun is, and unfortunately for him, he didn't actually pen it either time, and that's where the targeting computer would have been great to have, because he would have probably done him in 2 shots quite easily there, and he would have got more damage. But it is what it is. He did manage to shut him down anyway. Now there's just 1 Waffle Panzer IV left who's chasing down this light tank, and it's just a case of getting there for Mr. Scarecrow, who is motoring his way down. And this is where the traction system on this tank would be great, because you'd be able to go at 66 kilometers an hour, and that's where you could put it in the other slot. Yeah, it's completely down to you. I mean, at the time of this replay, I think Scarecrow sent it to me because I've had it for a little while. I don't think the traction system was a thing at that point. But like I say, I mean, I wouldn't run that anyway. In terms of a crew on this tank, by the way, I would run exactly the same as I did on the Charioteer, because this tank is stealthy. I'd make it so it's better at firing on the move. The gun is already absolutely superb, so it doesn't really need snapshot too badly. Just make it so that you don't get spotted as much when you fire, because, like I say, the way the tank is, the less time you spend spotted, the more time you get to farm. So Scarecrow finishes that game with a very nice tally for the Leopard PTA, which is a fantastic tank. It finishes with the victory. He comes top on his team. He gets 6 kills, 7.2k damage, 63 assistance. Ace Tanker, the Pascooches for killing both artillery, Top Gun, high caliber, and 2k base XP. A really nice game for the Leopard PTA. So as always, everybody, go follow these guys' channels down in the description, and thanks for watching.
A great success!